Okay, so before we get started, I'm tuned to a standard E-flat tuning. However, on the album, it's not quite to E-flat, so I actually, for the trailers, tuned to the CD. But to make things easier for the lesson, I'm tuned to E-flat. But if you do want to play along with the CD, you're going to have to kind of adjust your tuning slightly. It is an E-flat, but it's not exactly spot on. So let's go ahead and get started. So the very first riff, we're going to hit this low E. And so we let that low E ring out, and then we're going to grab this kind of E5 power chord, but we're going to be barring the ring finger across the D, G, and B string on the 9th fret. So we go, and then on that last, with our pinky, we're going to grab the 10th fret of the B. So we got, do that again slowly. So you can kind of see how I'm basically hitting that chord, coming back to this E note, and then back to here, and then all this is downstrokes. Okay, so that's the first part. The next part's going to be, now you're kind of doing little ghost strokes on this part. So try that again slow. So this is going to be basically a B major chord to an A major chord, and then we're going to finish here. Okay, so if you put your third finger on the, let's see, 9th fret of the D, middle finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the G, first finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the B, and we're going, so you're striking those 3 strings. Then the ending here on the 4th fret of the G, middle finger's on the 5th fret of the B. Let's put this together. So that's what we have so far. Now the next part, we come back and after we do the slide, so we come back and do a, so we're still grabbing this E5 power chord. Actually, it's an E major chord. So we're getting the E5 chord here, but then we're also grabbing the major part of the chord too. So 2 downstrokes, and then you're going to grab the A note on the 10th fret of the B. So here was same thing. We're grabbing, kind of part of the treble part of the E major. So we got, if you're 9th fret of the D, G, and B, and then we got the 7th fret of the D, 6th fret of the G, and then back to that B major chord. Sounds a little, again, it's kind of one of those things, doesn't sound as cool till it's played up to speed. Probably the hardest part of that is that little change there. You can kind of see he's kind of doing these little, you know, muted pick scrapes in between these chords. So you kind of hear that. And I should say, sometimes when I come back out of that, I'll just grab it from here instead of, you know, playing here. So either's fine. You can do either way. So that first part is a really important part of the whole song, because that is pretty much the intro of the guitar, the intro guitar part. These are all your verses, and this is also your chorus. Okay, so if you have this down, you've got the rest. Now there is a little harmonic tapping part that Eddie plays sometimes in the chorus. In the recording, it's mostly heard at the very end. The last was as the song is chorusing out. But we'll go over that when we go over the solo. So this part here, let's go. I'm going to play it one more time slowly. Okay, so there's a pre-chorus after that. So this is where the awesome background vocals come in from Micheal Anthony. But basically, Eddie's going from B to C sharp. So that's a B5 power chord. First finger's on the second fret of the A, ring fingers on the fourth fret of the D. We shift up a whole step, or down a whole step, depending how you look at it. And this is going to be fourth fret of the A string, sixth fret of the D. So it's... Now, we're going to bar our first finger across the D, G, and B and do a... And we're muting down here with our palm, so we get this... Okay? So if you play without the mute, it's going to sound like this. Which sounds cool. You could mix it up a little bit, but Eddie kind of mutes it. So we go G, D, G, B, ends on the G. So we have then we're going to come back to the C sharp and go. So Eddie does a little, you know, kind of a chunky, you know, kind of muted chord downstrokes on the C sharp. And then he does a pick slide and ends on the B5. And then we have this little fill. Okay, so we have our first finger on the fourth fret of the G, pinky fingers on the seventh fret of the B. We're going to hit these notes together, so play them like a chord. So we're going to pick this fifth fret of the B, and then you're going to pull off from the fifth to the fourth. And then you're going to pick one more time on the fourth fret of the G. So it's... So I'll play the whole thing together. Play it again. Now, right before we're going to do that again, play the same little fill here. But this time we're going to do this is a C sharp major. So that's right before we go into the chorus. So we go, and then you're gonna, after you play that chord twice, you're gonna pick up your middle finger here and do a little melody line here. And that's just, and then you're going to play it as a chord, just, you know, basically putting your middle finger here on the 5th fret and then, you know, putting it down, lifting it up. And when you play that chord, you're playing the D, G, and B together. So you're barring across the 4th fret. So let's go over that again. Alright, now on the second verse, Eddie takes his volume down just a little bit. So he's still playing the same exact rhythm, but we're just doing it. Nothing changes there. Same thing when we go into the pre-chorus though. C sharp minor, pick up the middle finger, you're just going G, high E, B, back to the G, and then we're doing the back to the open E. Now, this is the, I guess would be considered the bridge. So the bridge is going to be a B power chord, just like we played earlier, but we're going to add this E note in from time to time. You're going to let all this ring, so it's to A5. Then we go into the solo. So let's go to that again. So when I come out of this, I just focus on the first part. It sounds to me like he's just hitting just the B5. And then we add that 5th fret of the B. So and I'm just kind of just downstroking there on that A string. And then we're going to hit the A5. That E note there again, and then right before that we're going to slide down here. We're going to have our first finger on the 7th fret of the D, middle finger is going to be on the 8th fret of the G, and then we're just going to do this. So we're going to play the D and G together here, so 7th fret, 8th fret, and then 7th fret, 9th fret. So we're going to be thinking about, think if your first finger is a hammer, okay? You're slapping the strings. So after we come out of this lick here, you're just going to take your first finger and just hit the open E and let that ring. I think I'm striking about the 19th fret there. Okay, now you're going to bar your first finger across the D, G, and B string on the 9th fret. We're going to come down here, I believe that's 21st fret. Yeah, 21st fret. Now when you tap, you're going to tap on the fret, not in between the frets. So you're going to start here on the B. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then switch to the G. So we have this. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and change our fingering up here to this B major chord. So you're, the middle finger's here on the 9th fret of the D. Ring finger. Middle finger's on the 8th fret of the G, and index finger's on the 7th fret of the B. And then you're going to do Now this is the tricky part. I had to watch quite a few live, Eddie Van Halen live videos to figure out exactly what he's doing here. So he's angling his first finger, and he's tapping. If you were thinking you were tapping, 19, 20, 21. So you want to get these three strings together in the tap. And then you're going to shift down a whole step to the A major. So your fingers are pretty much staying the same as you have them. You're just going to go 2 frets down, and you're going to go, and you're going to tap there as well. So you're tapping across 17, 18, and 19. So we have, let's play what we have so far. Play that again. And when we come out of that, we're going to be up here tapping this little melody out. And that's going to be, look at this again, 17. Again, you're tapping right on the fret. 18, 19. So 17B, 18G, and 19D. Have this so far. Then it repeats, but this time we're going to come from the A major to the B major. You're still going to tap those three strings together, so 15, 16, 17. And then when you slide down, you're going to tap again across 17, 18, 19 of the D, G, and B string. Let's put it together what we have so far. So when we end that part, that next little melody is going to be, 19, 20, and 21. So B on the 19, 20 on the G, 21 on the D. It's going to repeat exactly the same again. Oops. Okay, the last final part's going to be this tapping melody that Eddie does right at the very end of the song, especially when it's chorusing out. So we're going to be here on 21 and 22 of the the B string. So you're going to do a tap on 21, 9th fret of the B. You can do a tap on 22. You're fretting on the 10th fret of the B. So we have, and then you're going to do 2 taps when you come back. Now, after you do that, you're going to shift your hands here to play this part. So it's going to be a tap on the 19th of the B. And you got your first finger on the 7th fret. And you've got your middle finger on the 8th fret. You're tapping on the 20th. And then you got your ring finger on the D string, the 9th fret, and you're tapping on the 21. So let's play what we have. Now we're going to shift up a whole step, still have this shape, and do this. Oops. Okay, so we're tapping 17th fret, 18th fret, 19th fret, and then we're going back to the 18th fret. So I'm fretting here on the 5th fret of the B, then I'm going to the 6th fret of the G, and then I'm going to the 7th fret of the D, and then I'm going to go back to the 6th fret of the D and go 1 fret back the other way. So it's slowly play that again. Then we're going to come back to here, And you're just doing a tap 21 on the B, 22 on the B, back to 21, and then we're going to come up here and go. So it's going to be a 17, 18, back to the 17, and a slide here with the from the 5th fret to the 7th fret. So it's and then you're going to end with a 19, 20 tap. So 19 on the G string, 20 tap on the D. All together.